Day 2 of the European Championships in Glasgow, and after Day 1's qualifiers in rowing and cycling, the first medals of the Games were up for grabs. Fans in Scotland's biggest city had the chance to see some of the world's top sports stars at the Sir Chris Hoy Velodrome, Strathclyde County Park and the Tollcross Swim Centre. Highlights of Day 2 are on the way, but first an indication on just how excited the city is about the event.
We've got a fantastic 11-day programme of sport. We've got a number of championships, 12 individual sports championships across the piece, ranging from aquatics, cycling, rowing, triathlon, golf and gymnastics, as well as a world-class cultural festival running alongside.
Obviously this European Championships is very different in the fact that you've got so many different sports happening at once. So I think the main focus for each individual athlete will be to focus on their job, and if that obviously helps towards the overall team total, then that's a great thing as well.
It's massive to have a sporting event of this sort of magnitude taking place in Scotland. The sort of build up beforehand, the effects it has on everything in Scotland is sort of wider afield, but in terms of a sporting spectacle, to have the sort of your top athletes competing in Scotland is just fantastic.
I think we're just looking forward to the city coming alive once again and seeing these elite athletes perform at their best and give us some historic moments for this historic event.
Welcome to Glasgow. I hope you have a great time. Good luck.
OK Europe, welcome to Glasgow. We hope you have a fantastic time and haste you back.
Welcome to Glasgow and the European Championships 2018.
We begin our roundup of Day 2 with Synchronized Swimming. Russia took the first goals of these championships by winning both finals on the inaugural day at Scotstoun Sports Campus. Reigning world champion Svetlana Konashenko added another gold medal to her collection, this time in the technical duet routine with Varvara Subotina.
But what a fabulous swim there from the Russian pair. Love that routine.
The Russian pair won by a score of 95.1035, almost 2.5 ahead of Ukraine, followed by Italy. There was a tighter score in the mixed duet with Russia's reigning European champion Alexander Maltsev and his new partner Maya Gurbanberdieva winning by a small margin of 0.880 points.
Huge congratulations to the Russian pair who take the European crown again.
Italy grabbed its second medal of the day by taking the silver, and Spain rounding off the podium with a bronze medal. Earlier in the day, 13 teams were competing at the team free preliminaries. Russia, who have topped the Olympic podium in the free team at every edition of the game since 2000, were the ones to watch.
Here they come. This is Russia, the favourites.
Wow, that was absolutely phenomenal.
They performed their free routine to a score of 95.500, leading the field by 2.0667 points ahead of the Ukraine, Spain and Italy before tomorrow's final technical round. The first medal of the day in the Sir Chris Hoy Velodrome was in the women's 10 kilometres scratch final.
Last lap, and it's going to be a cavalry charge. And the Brit is right up there as well. Emily Kay doing her best to try and come on the outside. This is going to be a terrific finish up towards the line. Well, that was an absolute thriller.
So the gold medal goes to Kirsten Wild of the Netherlands. Emily Kay of Great Britain takes silver, while the bronze goes to Julien de Hoor of Belgium. In the men's 15-kilometre scratch final, Roman Gladish of the Ukraine came through to win the gold.
So just a couple of laps to go, and it's Garrel from France ahead of Gladish from Ukraine, and now these two are going to have a battle. This is the last lap, and it's Garrel in front. Is Gladish going to attack as they come off this bend? He's going to have to. Garrel digging deep, Gladish trying to come on the outside, up towards the line. It's really tight. The Ukrainian thinks he's got there. Looked like a photo to me, very, very close. But from the fist pumps, it looks as though Roman Gladish believes he's seen off Adrien Garrel.
In the men's team pursuit, Switzerland were surprise finalists after coming back from a huge gap against France in their heat earlier today to meet Italy in the final.
So the Swiss now down to 3. So they have lost Frank Pasch. The Italians still going great guns and showing no signs of slowing. It's almost going to be like a victory lap, this. Just one lap away. And it's been a stunning performance. This Italian quartet has dominated the event from start to finish, and they come home for gold.
And the bronze went to Great Britain. The British women's team of Laura Kenny, Katie Archibald, Eleanor Barker and Nia Evans were chasing their first gold medal of the Games in the women's team pursuit, where they faced a strong Italian team.
Trying to wear them down in the middle stages of the race, past halfway. And they've got themselves a half-second cushion. It's not much, but it might well be significant, and the Italians straight away, sensing the danger, have cut that advantage. So it's going to be desperately hard to call. Might be a case of which rider or which team has a rider drop off first. 1 lap to go, 0.4 of a second. Crowd trying to play their part. Beg your pardon, it's 1 lap and 1,000 metres to go. I'm getting carried away here. Half a second is the advantage for Great Britain at the 3,000 metre mark. And they've just stretched it there. A statement of intent, trying to really dig into the stamina of the Italians and test them. This is where the lactic acid starts to build up. This is where it starts to hurt. And they've sneaked a little bit more daylight there, another 0.2 of a second. And now it's over a second. And we've only got 2 laps to go. And they're still together as a 4. The Italians have had Paternoster fall off, and their third rider is adrift. And Great Britain here are going to bring this home in front of their home supporters. 1 lap to go. And it seems a formality. They were pushed all the way for the first 3,000 metres. Since then, it has been one-way traffic. This is what the home crowd came to see. And it's going to be gold for the host nation. Britain win the women's team pursuit. And a brave second place for the Italians.
With the Germans taking the bronze medal. In the women's team sprint, the gold medal race was between Russia and the Ukraine.
When it really matters, and it really matters now. Russian Federation ahead by about half a second. So now the final lap. It'll be Voinova for Russia. And she's looking really good against Besova. It's going to be the Russians. 32.452. Virtually the same time as they did in the first round, and they have been able to reproduce it when it really matters. Gold for the Russian Federation. Ukraine take the silver.
And it was bronze for Germany. It was also a bronze for the German men in the same event. In the final race of the evening, it was France versus the Netherlands.
So we've come to our final event of the evening. Final of the men's team sprint. Maybe the Dutch just fractionally at that 125 meter marker. But the French trying to fight back, and there's very little in this. They're going really quickly, so first rider's dropped off. Now the second, it's down to a one-lap race. And it's pretty competitive too. I think the Netherlands have the edge, but we'll check as they come to the line. And the Dutch do get there, and by almost a second. Well, they've been the best sprint team here by some margin, and that gold medal is thoroughly deserved.
From the cycle track back to the pool now, and we caught up with 3 of the swimming stars to watch over the next 7 days of competition.
It's always exciting to be racing for Italy, racing in a big competition, so I just can't wait to swim. It's almost like a world championship for me because Romanchuk, Wellbrook, they have the best times in the world this year, and we are all Europeans, so it's like awards, but it's better for me. You know, when you come here, you want that competition, like, so much better. It's in between 2 Olympics, so I think most of the teams have the best team possible because you are in the middle and you wanna go fast. So I think it's gonna be a great competition for everyone.
I have been training very well for a long time now, and I'm very excited to finally race. I have high expectations on myself now, and I feel like I can swim some really fast times in my event, so I'm very excited. The European Championship is it's a big competition for us in Sweden, and I've been winning this competition many times. My first gold medal was 2008 in Eindhoven, so it was 10 years ago, so it would be really cool to maybe come out with another gold medal 10 years later. That would be really, really cool.
I'm looking forward to obviously racing the homeboys, but racing the rest of Europe as well. 2 years out from Tokyo a few days ago, so this is going to be one of the kind of final building blocks, as well as 2019 next year in South Korea World Champs. We'll go out there, see what we got, hopefully bring back a few wins, but there's no pressure on my back. Multi-sport, it's almost like a mini Olympics. Commonwealth Games was exactly the same. Europeans, the first of its kind, so it'd be great to obviously race on the European stage with all the other sports as well.
The afternoon session in the pool began with the 400-metre women's individual medley final. Frances Fantine-Le Saffre was the favourite after posting the quickest time in qualifying.
Oh, on a line here. Hallamani digging in. Le Saffre knows there is danger lurking every which way, but she extends those arms, and the first gold of the European Championships in the pool will go to France. And a new French record for Fantine-Le Saffre. But our winner, and twice in a day she has broken the French record after heats, and now the final for Fantine-Le Saffre.
Mikhailo Romanchuk was the only swimmer to qualify for the men's 400 metres freestyle in a time under 3 minutes 47 seconds, and the Ukrainian went even better in the final.
15 meters to go, he is struggling, but he's got enough ahead of everybody else to get to the wall. This will hurt, but it'll be jubilation for Romanchuk. 3:45.18.
Representing Ukraine, Mikhailo Romanchuk.
Early birthday present for Mikhailo Romanchuk.
In the first women's 50-metre freestyle semi-final, Dane Pernilla Blume created a little bit of history.
Closing in on the world record, that's a new championship record.
One of the stars of swimming, Sarah Sjostrom, was in action in the other semi-final and led the field home. Irish swimmer Shane Ryan continued his good form after winning his heat in the men's 50-metre backstroke. He came second to Robert Andrei Glinta from Romania and qualifies for Saturday night's final. It was a busy day for Sarah Sjostrom, who continued to progress through the rounds, this time qualifying for the final of the women's 100 metres butterfly.
56.66, that'll do. Job very adequately done by Sarah Sjostrom in the semi-final.
The men's 100 metres breaststroke semi-finals were some of the most anticipated races of the day. In the first heat, James Wilby produced one of the performances of the games so far.
Wilby's given himself a lot to do, but here he comes. Wilby is flying through this field. Shimanovic just about to be overtaken. So too is Kamiga. Wilby has come from 5th at 50 to go on to win this, and he's going to win it quite comfortably. What a swim! 59.23 for James Wilby.
His compatriot Adam Peaty was not to be outdone. The British swimmer almost broke the championship record for the second time today.
57.89 it was just a few hours ago. Peaty is going for this big style. Slightly slower. Bit anticlimactic maybe. Slit just outside that championship record, but Shubkov.
There was more drama in the women's 4x100 metres freestyle relay. The Netherlands had qualified for the final with the quickest time, but they faced stiff competition.
Coming now, last 15, the Dutch are right alongside. France are holding on for grim death, but I think the Dutch might get there. It's tight, it is France who get it by half a second, less than that in the end, 0.4 of a second.
And rounding off the session in the pool was the men's 4x100 metres. The teams were evenly matched until the 200 metre mark of the final, when the Russians took control. They ended up with over half a second advantage and took gold. It was another busy morning on the lake as Strathclyde played host for day 2 of the rowing. There was a number of repechage races with teams looking to qualify to the next stage, along with the semi-finals of the men's pairs at the end of the session. The men's quadruple sculls kicked off proceedings with world and European champions Lithuania looking to qualify for the final.
Yeah, they're fighting for it in the Ukrainian boat. They've upped their rate to 43 strokes a minute to hold off the charge from the Russians, but the Russians, I think, easing back now as they can see that they're not going to get one of those first 2 all-important slots. So Lithuania, great showing from them, crossing the line first. Ukrainian second, they're going to take those 2 slots through to the A final, and the Russian crew finishing there in 3rd, unfortunately going to miss out, and it'll be the B final for them.
Holland and Romania got through to the final in Heat 1 of the women's quadruple sculls repechage, but it was a trio in Heat 2 that delivered the best finish.
Italians now up at 42 strokes a minute, responding to this Russian charge. Russia staying ahead of them. They've responded 43 strokes a minute. Great Britain holding on to the lead, and Russia now reeling the Brits in as they're fighting off the charge from the Italians. It's going to be a win for Great Britain. Very little separating Russia and Italy on the line, just Russia taking that from the Italians.
The women's double sculls was next, with 4 from 6 going through to the final. France, Italy, Czech Republic and Poland all qualifying. The men's fours repechage saw a good battle between Italy and France in Heat 1, who along with Romania and the Czech Republic from Heat 2 all progressed through to the final. The repechage finished with the men's eights. Italy, Britain, Romania, Russia and Poland, with the 5 boats battling out for 4 positions.
The Romanians continue to lead this in the final stages.
Oh, they got clear water on the British. Great row from the Romanians. They really look classy, don't they? And
as the Polish crew back in 5th have started to raise their rate, they really want that 4th place to take the qualifying slot through to the A final. They're about half a length down on the Russian crew alongside them. Just see that on the bottom of the picture. But the Romanian crew here going to take the win. Fantastic showing from them. They're going to cross the line in 1st place. They've got a length ahead of Great Britain in 2nd place. Italy 3rd. Russia hold on to that 4th and important qualifying slot.
The morning session culminated with the 2 heats of the semi-finals of the men's pairs, with the first 3 from each race going to the final.
yeah, the Croatians look to be leading this race, as they have done in their heat, where they beat Lotto and Montroni.
It's the Romanians there in lane 4 who's sitting in 3rd place ahead of Great Britain sitting in 4th. The Romanian duo, Tudosa and Cosmic. We've seen them racing earlier in the season. They finished 4th in Belgrade Regatta, but here's the Sinkovic brothers out in front.
The Romanians now coming back on the Serbians, dragging the British with them. And Roster just goes up again, still at 41 strokes a minute, 5.2 metres a second. Romanians are at 5.3. The British still haven't found the extra gear.
Yeah, the Romanians taking it up. They're moving up on Serbia now. Romanians up at 44 strokes a minute, reeling the Serbians in with every stroke. And now they've drawn level to take 2nd place.
Can the British get a toe off the Serbian boat? It's a lot to ask. There's about 20 strokes left. Vasic and Bednik, they just are really struggling now. And then Bednik looks round for the finish line. The 29-year-old Serbian can't wait for it to come soon enough. Britain are closing on the Serbians, but I think it's going to be too late. I haven't got the overlap yet, but there's about 10 strokes left.
Too little, too late from the Brits by the look of it. Romania and Serbia up at 40 strokes a minute. Romania at 45 strokes a minute, but the Sinkovic brothers holding off this charge. They're at 40 strokes a minute as well. They're going to take the win. And the race for 2nd place, so close between Romania and Serbia. Romania just getting the better of the Serbians with that final sprint.
So we move on to the 2nd semi-final for the men's pairs. The Belarusians are just heading their neighbours from Russia, Stradev and Shupalov, who came with a really strong burn at the finish. This Dutch boat, again, that rather low-slung style of the Dutch strokeman, Sander de Graaf from the Theta Club, 23 years of age.
Yeah, the Untitled brothers, they've had a great season in the pair so far, picking up a bronze medal in Linz, silver medal a couple of weeks ago in Lucerne.
Yeah, they like to rate high, don't they? They go over at 40 strokes a minute. I mean, you can see the Irish, O'Donovan and O'Driscoll, they're up at 42 already, and they will try and go higher. They hit 47 yesterday in the sprint for the line. It's not beyond them a final place. That would be sensational.
Yeah, the Dutch really going for it, throwing everything at it, up at 42 strokes a minute. They've got a couple of metres to make up on the Belarusians, but the French storming out in front. Italy still in 2nd place. Belarus in 3rd. Seems like the Dutch charge has just narrowed off a bit. The Irish are absolutely going for it in lane 6, up at 46 strokes a minute. But it's going to be France with Belarus taking 2nd place, Italy in 3rd. Netherlands just floating across the line for 4th. Irish take 5th. Great race from this French crew. It'll be fantastic to see them racing the Sinkovic brothers tomorrow in the final.
So a great day for the Untitled brothers, who look very strong heading into the final of the men's pair. That wraps up our highlights of day 2 at the 2018 European Championships. We'll see you for more next time.